We are reading this week the Sidra, the portion, the Parsha of Chayei, in which we are told of Eliezer's appointment by his master, Abram, Eliezer, the servant of Abram, to go and find a wife for Yitzchak, for Isaac, Abram's son, in his homeland. In Abram's homeland, he should bring a girl from his family and bring her back to Israel, or Canaan as it was then, to be a shidduch, a match for Yitzchak. Now, Eliezer has to find a suitable girl. He has to find a girl from the right family, from the family of Abram. He doesn't know how to do it. And he sets himself all sorts of tests. And when he finally arrives in the homeland, in the place where he expects to find the family of Abraham, he goes to the meeting place which is the well, and he says, if somebody comes here and will offer me to drink and my camels to drink, then that's a sign that I'm on the right direction. And a girl offers him to drink, offers his camels to drink, and he finds out from her who she is, and immediately discovers that she is in fact the cousin of Yitzchak. She comes from the correct family, and he's so pleased and thankful. We read, Vayikod, that he bows down and to God, he bends down, bows down to the Almighty God, as in thanks to the Almighty for bringing him to the meeting with this girl. And then we talk later in the Parsha that Eliezer tells the story, meets the girl's family, and they agree to a shidduch, they agree to the connection. They're making a marriage between their daughter, between Rivka and Yitzchak. And when he hears that all the terms are agreed, again we have the same few words, that he bends down, bows down to God and thanks God. Now, he thanks God, and if you look at Rashi, the prince of commentators, when finally they agree to the shidduch, to the matrimony, it says, Vayikod, Eliezer bows down to the ground, thanks God. Says Rashi, from here we learn you have to thank God for a besura tova, for a good message, for a good hearing, besura, good news. When you hear good news, the right thing is to thank the Almighty God. That is what Eliezer did. Now, that's what Rashi says. However, Rashi quotes the Midrash, and the Midrash says the same quote, that you thank God on hearing good news, at the beginning of the story, the first time that I mentioned that Eliezer meets Rebecca, Rivka. She offers to give the food and the water to the camels, and him food, and he discovers she's from the right family. Then it says that Eliezer bowed down, thank God, and the Midrash says at this stage we learn that you have to thank God for good tidings, for good news. Now, why is it that the Midrash says it at the beginning of the story when Eliezer, albeit knew that he'd met the right family, but he didn't have any inkling or know that the family would agree to the marriage of this girl with his master? Rashi seems to be more convincing when he says, at the end of the story, when Eliezer finally comes, meets the family, speaks his speeches, tells them who Isaac is, they agree to the marriage, then that is the right time. Everything's sealed, signed. Then is the right time to thank God for the good news. And I think the answer is as follows. You know, we have to realize that even when something isn't completed, but we're going in the right direction, it's time to say a thank you. Eliezer, according to the Midrash, said thank you when he realized things were going in the right direction. Sometimes, as people, we would like to thank, but we say, we'll wait to see if it works out. Oh, he made a nice proposition, he has good intentions, perhaps it won't work out, and therefore we don't say delay, stop ourselves from saying thank you. The Torah, according to the Midrash, tells us, say thank you in stages, even when you haven't seen the culmination of what you wish. But as Eliezer, but he saw a wonderful stage on which he can build a future. He said thank you. Eliezer said thank you, that although he didn't know what the final story, the last chapter of the story, and this explains why the rabbis have to tell us, say thank you for a good hearing. Of course we should say thank you for good hearing. We don't need a special message for that. Any civilized person will say thank you for good tidings. What we do need a message is that even if the good tidings haven't been completed, even only an initial stage of good tidings, say thank you. So may we practice this in our lives. If a person is trying to help you, even if he hasn't helped you yet, say thank you. If things look positive, even if you haven't seen positive results now, be thankful. That's what we learn from Eliezer. On the possibility of good news, we should also thank God.
Moment of Wisdom. Sub-brief and life-changing moments. Join us. Subscribe to Moment of Wisdom channels on YouTube, Telegram, Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp.